Espoir Speaks, your go-to podcast for all things Espoir. I'm your host, Melanie, and I'm thrilled to have you join us on this very exciting journey as we go into the heart of Espoir's programs, its community, and of course, the incredible people behind this all. First, Espoir Speaks is more than just a podcast. It is also a platform designed to show and celebrate Espoir's programs and community efforts and interventions. Each month, we have specific themes that aligns with Espoir's core programs and values. Now, our theme is about love and hope for the children. Just for context, Espoir School of Life has been cultivating love and hope for children since its establishment in 2016. It has tried to consistently expand its reach to extend holistic development beyond the confines of the school to encompass the last mile areas of Siargao Island and beyond. Espoir also nurtures love and hope by fostering a culture of belonging through a community development model. It delivers transformative programs and projects aimed at providing inclusive education to underprivileged learners within a secure and nurturing environment. At this moment, Espoas caters to 117 learners at its main campus and also supports an additional 288 learners across Mindanao. This podcast endeavors to delve into this significance of love and hope for children, particularly within the framework of mission trips, volunteer efforts, and advocacy work on their behalf. And to help us navigate this topic, we're very honored to have a very special guest today who has recently partnered with us to realize love and hope for our children. We feature today Heart for Home, an organization established in 2009 with the objective of assisting disadvantaged children in the Philippines. Heart for Home partnered with ESPO on its mission trip in March 2024. We have here with us Miss Christine Almarines, the CEO of Heart for Home. Hi, Miss Christine. How are things going for you?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Everything is great, and we look forward to our next mission trip at Espoir next year.
Yeah, welcome to our podcast today. I'm just very interested to talk about today with you what love and hope means for the children. So maybe I can just go ahead and ask the first question. So, Miss Christine, how do you define love and hope within the context of Heart for Home's mission? And what specific actions does the organization take to embody these values in its work?
Well, that's a huge question, but here at Heart for Home, love and hope is really the true foundation of what we stand for. We believe that everything begins with love, from our maker, God, and it all comes from him. So, the act of love is actively seeking the well-being of others through acts of kindness, support, compassion, understanding, and truly sharing the one true love is God's love. So with that, through our acts of love, our goal is to truly inspire hope to others, hope in the possibility of positive change and a brighter future. And to us, it really just stems from the Lord. And we share love and hope through prayer, through truly understanding the needs of a community, our mission work, where we work hand in hand with community leaders and local organizations, supporting existing programs in place, feedings, service to share the word of God. He is our ultimate love provider. Sponsor learners, supporting enterprise programs, and partnering up with local organizations such as Espoir, who is doing amazing work right now.
Thank you so much, Miss Tin. I think what you just mentioned is very great. Um, I think love and hope for the children is really about growing the empathy that is innate to us. And it was good you also mentioned about faith and how it is connected to community development in general. So for the second question, I think in what ways does Heart for Home empower children to become advocates for love and hope within their own communities? And how do you measure the impact of these efforts?
Yeah, gosh, that's a great question, because I think measuring the impact is sometimes the last thing we want to look at. I think there's so much joy in giving. There's so much that you receive back when you give, that your heart is just so full of gratitude, to a point that sometimes it's hard to look back and actually measure the impact. But that's always been a challenge for me. However, with our purpose at Heart for Home, it is, with empowering children to become advocates of love and hope. We want to empower them to receive the goodness of the Lord, and with that, they will experience love and hope and become advocates of it. We have experienced God's grace and His love. Because of it, we found our purpose, right? All of us have gone through difficult times, and because of the grace of God and His love, we've all really come out of it victorious. And so, for example, my husband is a brain tumor survivor, and I myself is a breast cancer survivor. And trust me when I say I wasn't much of a prayer person until I had to face the unthinkable of thinking that my husband might die, right? So, when you think about your worst moments, when you think a loved one is going to die that day, and you get down on your knees and pray, and you come out of it alive, you come out of it where the Lord gave some grace and He delivered. I mean, it's just, there's no words to express that, but to give back to other people so other people can experience that. So to spread love and hope through compassion, acts of kindness, support, the power of gratitude, teaching people that there's so much to be grateful for, and to focus on what they have versus what they don't have, and prayer. So the hope is that we inspire kids to visualize and strive for a limitless future, bigger than what they can ever imagine, and to achieve and be who they've always dreamed of. So the goal is to truly inspire them to go back to where it all started and give back. I always say, are you truly, really living without experiencing love and giving, right? So, yeah, the goal is just, I think that when you experience the Holy Spirit and truly experience God's grace and love, that's when you know that you need to spread it, because miracles have happened in your life. And why not spread that so miracles can happen in everyone else's lives around you? So, to answer the difficult part of your question as to how we measure our impact, I had to think about this. How we measure our impact is really the number of students who return back to their community in which they came from to share their blessings. And also hearing that they've been touched by Jesus and God and has committed their lives to Jesus. So I hope that answers your question. It was kind of a long answer, but I hope that works.
Yeah, thank you so much for that really great answer, Miss Christine. I think just jumping off from that answer, what advice would you offer to other individuals or organizations seeking to prioritize this kind of approach as well, love and hope, as central tenets of their work with children and families?
So that question is funny to me, not because it's weird, but it's funny to me because when you're asking me, and if my partner Jeannie was here with me right now with us, um, we're probably the wrong persons to ask that, because we're yes people, right? If someone says, hey, we need help over here, we won't even assess the situation. We just hear help and that there's a need, and we will run and serve, right? And so, and the reason why I say I'm not sure if we're the right person is because we say yes to everything, and sometimes you can easily say yes to the wrong things, right? And so for me, for us, we're learning about how we operate that way. So we always say come from curiosity. That's our number one approach right now, so that we're not wasting efforts, right? We're not wasting resources. So come from curiosity, listen first, seek to understand, ask a lot of questions, right? And don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions, because we don't see it as rude. We see it as asking for clarity, so that we can truly, truly, truly understand the need and find the best solution and then act on it. Whereas normally my partner Jeannie and I will just say yes no matter what, without asking, without listening, without understanding the true needs, without having clarity. Our hearts just want to automatically say yes. But by coming from curiosity and asking those questions and seeking to understand, it's really changed the way our impact hits the community that we're serving, you know? So for individuals, I would say still the same, right? Always come from curiosity, practice and teach the act of gratitude and prayer. For organizations, have a mission, a vision, values. And when you're looking to partner up with organization, and when you need to make decisions, hard ones, and even easy decisions, let your mission, vision, and values be your guiding light to help you make those decisions. If it doesn't align, it doesn't work out. So when you find those partners, just make sure that everything is in alignment with at least your mission, vision, and values. And your purpose and your intention should all be one and the same. So I always say that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And for organizations out there and even individuals who don't know where to start, right? It seems overwhelming to start an organization to help the world, right? To help those in need, to help those underserved. And it just sounds really overwhelming, where like most people will just be paralyzed by the thought of where they need to begin. But just starting with something small, right? Partnering up with organizations. And that's where, if you want to go far, go together, right? So to sustain progress, it often requires a lot of collaboration, teamwork, and truly a collective effort. So that's really my advice. I hope that helps.
Thanks again, Miss Tin. Yeah, indeed, understanding is, what we need the most today, especially if the multiple crises we suffer and endure rather, and of course the conflicts as well that comes with this. No,
Mhm.
I think it's also great that we have various yeses from people like you, like from people who advocate for love and hope, and of yeses that turn to easing poverty and ultimately challenging the status quo, and just demanding for love and hope for people living in fragility and vulnerability, as you mentioned. And just finally looking ahead, and the last question as well, what are your hopes and aspirations for the future of Heart for Home, and how do you envision the organization's legacy in promoting love and hope for generations to come?
I mean, our aspiration for the future of Heart for Home is to spread love and hope throughout the world by helping multiple countries. And how we do that, I envision chapters around the world, connecting with multiple organizations like Espoir. And what we love about Espoir is, we speak about the gift of love, right? From God. And Espoir gives the gift of education, right? And education is really a lifetime skill gift. And where, a student from young carries it into their teens, carries it into their adult life, and so forth. Those skill sets learned through the education process, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And so my vision is that wherever those students end up around the world, is that they start by helping their community near them, and ultimately coming back to where it all started in the Philippines and expanding it back to the Philippines. And truly, I just envision this web of Heart for Home network throughout the world, spreading more love and hope through other organization, and it just becomes this web of God's love and grace all over the world that is working through us. So yeah, that's how I envision it. And it's hard to put into words what our dreams and what I would see it happen in the end. It really is, because sometimes we're so focused into the now. But I'm excited for what's to come. And and honestly, the partnership that we have with Espoir has really motivated and inspired us to think bigger. So thank you guys for having us as a partner, and we appreciate it.
Thanks, Miss Tin. That's a truly beautiful vision. I think together, let's contribute to developing sustainable programs that continue to nurture love and hope in children for years to come, may it be through free, inclusive, and liberating education or community development. Ultimately, we truly hope that our efforts will create a ripple effect and, as you've mentioned, a web of hope and love to inspire the future generations to really prioritize and put into center compassion and positivity in within their communities. So yeah, thank you so much, Miss Christine, for sharing your insights and experiences with us today. It's been just truly, truly inspiring.
Thank you, Melanie. You have a good one. And I look forward to hearing this podcast and more of what Espoir speaks. I'll have to follow and listen to all of it. And I'm excited for Espoir. I'm excited for everything that's to come, and exciting things are coming. So thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Miss Christine. And of course, finally, to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more inspiring conversations and stories of hope. Remember to spread love and hope wherever you go. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast to stay updated on all things Espoir. And remember, each month will bring you a new theme that mirrors Espoir's programmatic focus areas. So there's always something new to learn and discover. So until next time, stay inspired and keep the spirit of Espoir alive. This is Melanie signing off.